Vijay Grover, how do you see the reading from this letter that he's put out, an open letter saying that Jagdish Shettar feels that he's been humiliated and the party was not willing to listen to him? Was it just a pretext to say that he was not given his way, that's why he decided to join the Congress?
Morning. The first thing that comes to mind is, why did somebody let the situation come to this? That we are having an open debate, a public debate where whether what he did was right or wrong. Knowing Jagdish Shettar for nearly 3 decades now, I can very confidently say that, he's not been a very demanding leader, even within the BJP, and was one of the most disciplined. Yes, he had issues on seniority with several leaders, and was a man who did not compromise his stance on several issues. In fact, he could put his foot down on several contentious issues, especially the hard Hindutva ones, because he was always against those kind of ideology being propagated. And one of the things that also comes to mind now, and the fact is that why did he write today and not write before? And the number of people and the people that he's hinting at who could be responsible for his exit from the party is something that is being discussed at party level at various sections. One of the things is also that are the Lingayat leaders being shown the place? Is the BJP High Command trying to show that we are not a Lingayat dominated party? Because the kind of outreach that the party has made in the last couple of years, the social engineering that it has tried to work out with the OBCs and the SC/STs, and also the Vokalika community, clearly this could be a message to those communities by the BJP High Command that look, we are not dependent on one community or one caste. We are now a party which is trying to reach out to all of you. So it could serve benefit for the BJP in terms of the outreach it has made. But yes, what I feel, or a lot of other people feel, is that Jagdish Shettar may have paid the price for not bedding down, and that is the reason why he had to leave. Because even when there were names of Bommai being replaced, when all these issues had caught up, his was one of the front runner names. A man who could be even considered as a last minute replacement for Bommai just 6 months before election. If he is forced to leave the party, then there is something more than what meets the eye. And party insiders do tell that he could have fallen uh, in favor from some of the senior BJP leaders from Karnataka who are in center. And what many also refer to individual names, saying that it could be like, the Brahmin lobby, which is not in his favor, because he would have been an ideal choice for a CM candidate. So maybe his exit has moved uh, the prospects of some other leaders to become CM in case BJP comes to power. So that is where all this is being debated, and Jagdish Shettar, by sending this open letter, has sent a very strong signal that he was hurt by the kind of treatment that he was getting, and maybe he had kept quiet in the past, but this time he was not willing to keep quiet, because many of his supporters feel that for a man who has developed the party in the south in such a strong way, right from beginning, when the party had no foothold in south of India. This is not the kind of treatment that should have been given to him, because his contribution, his family's contribution, his father's contribution is something which is respected a lot in North Karnataka, especially because they have done a lot to develop the party, and
But Grover,
it would have been better, many
what
feel,
led to the
that
BJP not having a compromise formula? I mean, they would be first if they were. What Jagdish Shettar says in his letter is that they did not tell me. They could have spoken to me a week back
yeah,
before they decided on not giving me a ticket. I was
yeah.
shocked when at the last moment they told me that they are not going to give me a ticket. Why is the BJP not having a comp? They just thought that Jagdish Shettar would just take it lying low. That is the big mistake that seems that the BJP had done out over there. Because they just thought, because as you rightly pointed out, he's not a demanding leader. But probably he decided to stand his ground this time.
Yeah. See, this is something where, because there were certain factions within the party, and we all know the factionalism in the BJP Karnataka is very, very high and very strong. And there were leaders from Hubli Dharwad region who were not comfortable in him being in the race this time, because, if the BJP had come to power, and obviously with uh, B.S. Yediyurappa certainly not being in the race, a man of Jagdish Shettar's seniority. He's considered more senior than even B.S. Bomai. And, that would have been an ideal choice, especially the Lingayat community. So, this time, the fact that he's decided to speak out clearly shows that there would have been some provocations which maybe he had ignored in the past, kept quiet. Yeah, but, what a lot of his supporters, when we try to speak, is they say that, this was getting a little too much for him, because, this is not the kind of treatment that a person who's done 46 years of political career should be getting. Also, the fact that, what his supporters say, that, when there was even an internal survey of anti-incumbency constituency wise, Jagdish Shettar's was one constituency where there was no anti-incumbency to the level because in some constituencies they are up to 30% against the BJP anti-incumbency. So here it was like practically nil. So that is something where his supporters, the way they have rallied behind him. We've seen so many corporators stepping down, so many panchayat leaders resigning from the BJP, and standing behind him. Clearly shows that this could be a close contest. And for Jagdish Shettar, the fact that JP Nadda may be rushing today to Hubli to speak to him, but I think so it's a little too late, because having taken this step, Jagdish Shettar is a man who will now stand by what
No,
stance he's
is it too
taken.
late, Ajit, as he points out that JP Nadda, we had a time when Jagdish Shettar went to Delhi to speak with JP Nadda. Now you see that JP Nadda, after him joining the Congress, is trying to rush back. Probably JP Nadda has realized that Jagdish Shettar's exit and along with the supporters means a big issue for the BJP in North Karnataka.
Certainly, yes, and someone of the stature of JP Nadda, rushing to Hubli means that the party is feeling the heat of the exit of of Shettar and the others from the Lingayat community. But at a overall, or at a more political level, I would say that Shettar may actually not want to come back at this juncture, because given his age and the kind of candidates that the BJP has picked this time, they have kind of tried and bringing a lot of next generation leaders into the system. I think he understands that this is his last chance to have a share of power.
So was it like a forced premature retirement that the BJP was trying to place on him?
Yes, I think that's the case, and he kind of he could have he kind of sensed it possibly that I'm being pushed to the corner when I still have in me to actually aim for the top slot. Given the way the fractured mandate is in Karnataka, he certainly understood that if the party were to come to some amount of number in terms of close to majority, then he can play a role. Okay. And possibly that's what has upset him, and led to all this. But more importantly, I would say that Nadda's itinerary, while he's gonna meet a lot of people, and I don't think so he's meeting Shettar is part of his itinerary there. But importantly, he's also gonna meet the seers of two influential mutts in the region, right? So
because another issue, of course, since you read that issue about seers, the first thing was, as you mentioned, from those two mutts, calls went immediately to Jagdish Shettar, saying that you have been wrong, we stand by you. Correct. So it looks like it's not about placating Jagdish Shettar alone, it is also to placate these mutts which have a huge influence on the voters there.
Right, so the Lingayat politics revolves around the mutts, right? So one has to be very sure of that, that the whole lot of these Lingayat politicians, they can't survive without active support from the mutts.
Of course, you have to have that backing from them.
Correct. And while Shettar is a Lingayat, he belongs to a subsect, right, of the Lingayats, and he is not the Veer Shaiva Lingayat like Yediyurappa is. So possibly the party may be of the view that the Veer Shaivas, because they are with Yediyurappa and at least on he is with the party, I think they will be able to control the damages what they are trying to assess, because the kind of votes that this particular subset to which Shettar belongs, I don't think so they have much votes in North Karnataka.